Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how your annual leave is handled at retirement. Some people end retirement with a bunch of annual leave saved up and they wonder, how is this handled? How am I compensated for this in retirement? How can I manage that with all my other benefits to really maximize everything I have? So that is what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it. And we have to remember, I have to note that annual leave is handled very, very differently than sick leave is. I did a video, I did an article and a podcast about this a couple weeks ago about how sick leave is handled. So that is very different. So make sure we keep those separate in our mind. The annual leave and sick leave are very, very different. So basically, annual leave is very simple and kind of complicated at the same time. The simple part is that they pay you a lump sum for any annual leave you have accumulated, basically as if you would have kept working for them during that time. So if you were due for, let's say, a pay raise happened during the time that you would have worked, if you would have worked during that time, right? If you retire, let's say December 10th, right? Let's say. And a pay raise happened on January 3rd, or whenever it does, right? Then, and you had, let's say, 2 months of annual leave saved up. Then a portion of your annual leave that they calculate will be at the higher rate. So that's kind of how it works. They basically project out how much annual leave you have and project how much they pay you in a lump sum at the end. Now, the only complicated part about this is what is included in the pay that they calculate. It's not exactly everything you receive sometimes. So I have written an article and I always put it in my descriptions, my videos, my podcast of the article itself. So in that article, you'll see a list of everything that is included when they do this calculation. There's probably about 10, 11, 12 things. So just look there and you could Google it, get all the research you want. And this lump sum payment that people can get from their annual leave that they have accumulated is really a nice cherry on the top that many people enjoy as they retire. But the one thing we do have to remember is that only a certain amount of your annual leave transfers from year to year. You probably know this already. Just make sure you take this into account when you're making your plans. And so let's say you plan to retire in January. Well, then only a certain part of your annual leave is going to come along, and then you may retire and not get as much as you want. So make sure you kind of plan it all out where you're maximizing what you get from annual leave, you're maximizing what makes sense for your credible service, for your pension calculation, and you're just maximizing all the way around to get the very most for you. Sometimes it's not perfect, but just what works for you the very best you can. So I hope this is helpful for you. I hope this kind of shows you how it kind of works in with your other benefits and how you might be able to use it in your career, in your retirement to get the most out of it. So please, any questions, comments, put in the comments below. I will get to them as best I possibly can, and I will see you next week.